that day. Hi, I'm Linda Fagans, and I would like to welcome you to the Persuasive Pen podcast. On this podcast, subject that we're going to be discussing is about emails that engage and win. But before I talk about that, I want to remind you women leaders, not only for your mental health, but your physical health, to make sure that you're taking care of yourselves in terms of getting the proper rest, having some self-care time for yourself, because a lot of times women leaders can suffer from burnout stress, and that burnout, that stress affects your health. It also affects whether you want to believe it or not, because you're so always used to pushing on steam. It affects the effectiveness of your presentation, your work, and how you present yourselves, how you speak your truth and use your voice in terms of your role as a woman leader. And sometimes we suffer from what? Perfectionism. That's not the subject of this podcast today. I just want to remind you, emails that engage and win. This is very important. Why? Because people are emailing every day, and we take for granted the importance of an email. And women leaders, though, we want you to use your voice effectively, wisely, concisely in everything you do, and especially the email. Want you to write as persuasive emails. And so it's important because people are still judging your integrity, your credibility, your expertise, and how you are as a female leader in the emails. And the other thing is, emails can be used for litigation. Since I'm in the legal arena, I think about that all the time. And so one of the things that is very important, you be careful about giving out too much information, and also your tone, or any negative tone or information or attitude that can be projected in an email. So what's important about that email? The first thing is you want to have a clear objective. Why are you writing this email? What do you seek from the team leader that you email, or manager, or from your colleague, or from your client? What's the purpose? So you should have a clear subject line, one that attracts their attention, that engages them, so they can know what the purpose. Follow-up meeting for Project Smith. Request of documents. Something's going to engage them. And I'm throwing these words out, but I want you to be mindful of that. Plus, you want them to open it. So it needs to be engaging and attractive. Just like an email mark. You don't want it to be ignored. A couple times you may get an email and you look at it and you don't get a reply because it's long. People don't know why you're calling. And all you're trying to do is secure a guest speaker for a conference. But if you send it again with different flavor, with some brevity, and an email subject line that engages them, it might get opened. And you should have a friendly approach, a tone. Do not get too personal, but have a friendly, professional way. I'm sure, depending on your corporate structure, you don't have to get all so formal, but never lose the friendly approach. You can say, I hope you had a great weekend. Set a positive tone with it. But I want you to always remember to have I'm going to repeat this again throughout this podcast, have a clear call to action. Remember, I said before you send that email, what's my objective? My two clear objectives in this email. Don't send a generic request. Tailor your email to your audience. Just like I've been addressing, know your audience. When you're writing that email, CEO, client, colleague, you should let the recipient know exactly what you need and why it matters. So be concise, have a personal touch if it's appropriate, and have that clear call to action. Be clear about what you need and why it's important. Be brief, be very brief. And your emails, like anything else that we've been talking about, should be persuasive. Why? Because again, you want for both sides to win. You want to show them that the purpose of your email is for their benefit and will help them. And you want to let your audience to know that you are credible, you have a very high integrity, and what you are providing or requesting of them will benefit you and your client. So again, when you're writing a professional email, a clear subject line, appropriate greeting, a concise message, a closing that states what action is expected, a sign off, professional, best regards, thank you, and a signature that includes what? Your contact information. Let's look at an example of what could be an email. make sure you have a clear call to action. So what if you are sending an email to a team manager and you want some feedback? So maybe in the subject line, you'll say request for team feedback on recent workflow changes. Shouldn't be too long, so you might want to work that out, but request for team feedback. Then you will say, hi, Manager Linda. I hope this message finds you well. I've been reviewing our team's recent performance metrics, and I saw an interesting trend since we've implemented the new workflow last month. Given your comprehensive understanding of our team dynamics, I will invite and value your insight. And I might even change those sentences around. I'm kind of going off the hook. But remember, we're striving to get it done in a spirit of excellence. It doesn't have to be perfect. That's another subject I talked about, that women leaders are sometimes hung on perfectionness. And try not to write too long of a sentence. So the next paragraph should say, could we set up a time to discuss your team's feedback? Understanding their experiences and challenges will help us refine our approach and ensure we're meeting our objectives effectively. So you're telling her you want their feedback, you want to set up a time for that, and you're telling her why. They're going to help us make sure we're meeting our objectives. Could you please share this feedback by the end of this week? That's a clear call to action. Your input will be crucial for our upcoming strategic review session. That's even better. It shows that, hey, I need this. And again, you're showing them it's important because we're having a strategic review session. I might even change some of these sentences around, but remember, we're striving for it to get it done, that it be effective and good and clear, not perfection. Third paragraph. Thank you for your attention to this matter and for coordinating with your team. Please let me know if you need any additional information from my side or if there's a particular time that works best for your schedule. Looking forward to your insights. Best regard, Linda. And the best word is best regards, not best regard. So that's one suggestion. And what if you have an example too, like a proposal for participating? You have an idea that you have for the department. So you might have in the subject line, proposal for participating in the Green Office Initiative, whatever that is. I'm just making up a name here. And you might say, I hope you're doing well. You will say, hello, department head, name, whoever the person is. I'm reaching out to you to share an exciting initiative that our sustainability committee is launching next quarter, our Green Office. The Green Office project is aimed at reducing our carbon footprint and enhancing our workplace environment. Now, I use those words. I just stole that from a sentence I saw somewhere else. So I have no idea what that means, but I'm just trying to give you an idea in your mind of a framework. Second paragraph, I would discuss why I need this from this particular department. It's something like your department and innovative approaches and commitment to corporate responsibility, I believe will help our team and play a significant role in shaping this initiative. Here comes the call to action. Would your team be interested in participating in the brainstorming session next week? We are looking for fresh ideas and enthusiastic collaborators to lead the charge. And I would make that call to action even more definite. Next paragraph. Please let me know if your team would be interested in discussing this further. I think this can be a great opportunity for us to lead by example and make a significant impact on our environmental goals. Last paragraph. Thank you for considering the opportunity. It's about 4 paragraphs to about 2 sentences each, 2 or 3, concise, end with warm regards, Linda. Now those are some suggestions because I want you to see and hear what the pattern is. Persuasive emails help you connect with your audience or achieve a professional goal. What is that goal? You can use a persuasive email to share the value of your products, your services, your expertise, a proposal for an idea, some feedback that you need. So understanding how to craft an effective persuasive email can help you achieve desired results for yourself or your business. So during this podcast, I've tried to give you a few pointers about an email, but I want to stress its importance for you not to take it for granted. And another opportunity for you to show your credibility, your authenticity, and your integrity and your expertise. So you want to keep the audience engaged in what you're trying to promote and to get your reader to take action. That's why I want you to have a clear call to action. Whatever approach you choose, persuasive emails are important for capturing your audience attention and encouraging them to follow through with your desired action. So there are many personal and professional instances where sending a persuasive email can benefit you or your company. That's why it's important that you be mindful of those pointers by making it clear, concise. I know often, a lot of times I'm writing a memo. So a lot of times I will write the email just highlighting that please review this memo, contains my recommendation, and I will only have 2 or 3 paragraphs, short paragraphs, and I will attach the memo. But of course, we have addressed already in terms of writing your memo, the different strategic techniques that you should use in writing and drafting that memo. But not in every case do you need a memo. Because I'm in the legal arena, rather than write all that in the email, I will highlight what I need to say and why the purpose, and then attach the bigger email. But it depends on your corporate atmosphere, what you're trying to achieve. You may not do that. But you have to remember too, a lot of times in litigation, we're going back and forth with emails. And even though it might seem not controversial, you still must be careful in litigation what you're saying back and forth. Because remembering your emails can be used. Of course, a good attorney is going to try to keep it out, but the whole point, be careful about putting too much information or what information you have in the email. And I just gave you a point from the fact that from a legal point of view, one aspect of the importance of being careful about writing emails and how they can be used. But you don't have to be in the legal atmosphere for them to be used in a court of law, or to be used as how you all were communicating and how the communication was flowing in terms of what your intent was. And of course, most attorneys are going to try to keep that out and object on various grounds. But the point is, you still want to be careful about what you're writing. And we're not here to instruct you on litigation techniques or anything. I'm just showing you that emails have a lot of impact. How many times people have used the email to say, hey, Susan said this and I said that, causing all kinds of controversy. And I'm just talking about in everyday situations. But when you're a woman leader and you're involved in corporate structure and you're involved with your clients and you're involved with your colleagues, you still want to be mindful of what you are writing and its impact. Because the purpose of writing a persuasive email is to get your reader to taking your message into consideration, to act on it, to purchase from you, to accept your idea, to go along with you, to work with you, to collaborate with you. And you want to make sure that whatever your approach to writing persuasive emails, that you capture that your audience, your client, the stakeholder, your CEO attention, and you encourage them to follow through with your desired action. So, I'm Linda Fagans, your persuasive strategist, and thank you for listening to the Persuasive Pen Podcast. Have a great day.